Hi, I'm Kathy Dobson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. And this is another 5 minute Indie Insights. So let's end the year by not taking ourselves too seriously and maybe laughing at how many final drafts we had this year. I know I had at least six. So let's take a moment and skip maybe the endless reflection and celebrate the weird, the wonderful, and the unexpected wins of 2025. Wherever you started, you made it here, and that deserves a confetti cannon, or at least a cupcake.
Yes, I love this. So let's talk about our wins. And if you are listening, put one win down in the comments, just one win from this year. Because it's mud fun. We don't care what it might, we don't care what it is. And I had the biggest win just a few days ago. Um, my novel, Ryan Latham's novel, A Powerful Season, is about climate change. And there were several authors who write about climate change who really inspired that novel. And I sent three of them, I would put them in the acknowledgments and sent three of them a copy. And I got an email just a few days ago from Bill McKibben, who's just a giant in climate and social change and strategies.org at Third Act, and just as a hero of mine. And he sent me this quick little email that just said, many thanks for sending me A Powerful Season and many thanks for writing it. It captures much of what's been making Third Act really work. Good luck and with gratitude. And it made my day, week, I don't know, maybe my whole month. Because it's just a tiny email. It's like, oh my God, it worked. It, I feel seen and by somebody who I really do respect and admire. So that was just fantastic. And that's probably my, biggest win in a lot of ways. And sometimes it's just the little things that are your biggest win.
That exactly. I had in my newsletter a couple weeks ago, I asked people if they wanted to get a postcard. Did they want one of my Hellgate postcards? And if they wanted a Hellgate postcard, send me an address. And you never know. You never know what's going to happen because, sending your address is like a big deal. And so, but I wanted to do something physical for people because I like sending stuff in the mail. And I had 30 people send me their address and respond for postcards. And so I sent postcards out all over the world. And so that was really fun writing the addresses and thinking about who the people were and where they lived, and they're reading my newsletter and maybe they've read my books. And I really that was a big win for me. But then, like 2 days ago, I got an email from somebody who I had sent a postcard to who thanked me for getting the postcard and said that it arrived at a time when they could really use a moment of like motivation and inspiration. And they were really grateful to receive that postcard. And that is just like, that to me is like, that is such a validation and an affirmation. And it's exactly like what you just said. It's the being seen. It's the knowing that what you're doing, that all of these episodes where we've talked about how hard this is, all the organization, that little tiny moment, that little star, that's like the North Star to be seen, to
Right.
keep going. It's amazing to me how little it takes for not only for me to feel so good, but to make somebody else feel good.
Right. Yeah, it really is about the real moments of connection. I mean, I would like to shout out to Peggy Benner, who is a romance reader in Maryland, who gets my newsletter. She's got it for years. Every single time she gets my newsletter, she hits reply and says, thank you, Catherine. You have a safe week and whatever. Every single week she sends me a little note and it just makes my heart full.
Yeah, these little touches, these little like soul touches across the globe. It is so powerful, and I think we lose sight of that. We forget about that. But just those moments, those are so priceless to me in this journey of like, you know, all of the difficulties you just knowing that there's people out there that are like paying attention.
Yeah, and there's all these like fun things that happen. Like when I first covered Stickula Midnight, which is set in El Paso, I grew up, went to high school in El Paso, and somehow I connected with somebody I actually went to high school with who had just started making his own tequila. And she sent me a bottle of tequila. It was just like the craziest confluence of events. Is but now I have a nice bottle of tequila in my cabin. And really meaningful, right? Because it came from the people that are way back. So things like that happen, a special moment.
Yeah, exactly. What else for me this year has been huge? I'm gonna be totally honest. The AI coming in, I have made images and videos that I have seen in my head for decades and not been able to figure out how to make them. Not, I mean, with like all the art that I studied, I am seeing my creativity for everything this year that's been hard, being able to like generate and create with this new tool, it's just been like fabulous. I can create the weirdest, wildest. Yeah, it's been amazing. That has been like one of the biggest bonuses for me. It's just like I feel like I can pull the things out of my head in a way that I couldn't do that even 6 months ago, right? 2 years ago. What? Yeah. So this whole AI like stuff has just been amazing in terms of how I've been able to accelerate my creativity.
So a win that I've had, which is going to sound kind of weird, at least to me, 'cause it has is branding, right? Which you're like, oh, you do branding for marketing, blah, blah, blah. I needed a way to talk about all of the genres I write in one place. And so, which help, I'm going the wrong way.
Yes.
I came up with the images and brands that include my mystery series and my women's fiction books. And the Delicat's not in there, but it's kind of in there. So books for women become their own heroes, whether they're solving crimes or starting over. And so now I have this. We're getting ready to go to Author Nation, and so this will be at Reader Nation. But I have business cards and my signature on my email and bookmarks and different things that the great thing about it for me is I just finally have a way to talk about it and show people exactly what I'm talking about that make my life easier. It is totally not going to help me sell a single book, but it doesn't matter because it's something I needed for myself. That I'm just like, oh, got it. Now I know how to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's huge. That's really huge. I think,
And of course, John had to go to like CSC different versions of this.
no, well, it's really fun to see where you landed because it does. I think you're going to sell more books because you know how to talk about it now. And there's not going to be that. At some point, we can talk about that episode, but you're not looking for words.
Yeah, I have a tagline.
Yeah.
But it was just putting it all together. I wasn't able with the image and everything. And so now it's just kind of a relief and endless joy that this is done.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think these wins, they don't have to be, I sold 10,000 books. They have to be, they don't have to be these massive things that I think we think, or we get caught in thinking, if I didn't make $1 million, I'm not successful. If I didn't do this huge, if I wasn't on Oprah, I'm not successful, or I don't have a win if I didn't. And it's just like, these are little things that, the weird and the strange and they're just as valuable as the big things.
Well, it helps me remember that I'm doing this because I love it. I'm just doing that to be or become a millionaire. Thank God I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing this because I love putting these stories into the world and connecting with people.
So give us a win in the comments. We want to hear from you. If you're listening to this, and give us a win. It can be a line. It can be a paragraph. It does not have to be big. We want to know what you're out there doing and what's keeping you going. So until next time,
Yep.
we'll see you soon. Bye.